Hi, welcome back to the channel where we discuss all things cults, coercive control and undue influence. Before we get underway, can I please ask you to take the time to subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified as new videos are released? Thanks. I appreciate your support of my work. This video is part of a series in which I unpack the BITE model of authoritarian control, using my own experience being born and raised in a cult. The BITE model was developed by Dr Steven Hassan and explains the four domains that cults, high control groups and coercive partners employ to gain, influence and maintain control. The BITE model stands for Behaviour Control, Information Control, Thought Control and Emotional Control. In this video, I'll be unpacking the third element, Thought Control. Controlling the behaviour of individuals is a key tactic of high control groups, cults and coercive relationships. And once again, in this video, I'll be using my own experience of information control as a former member of the Jehovah's Witness cult. And I will be referring to it as a cult from here on in to reflect its true nature. According to Dr. Steven Hassan, thought control and thought-stopping techniques are often used by cults to stop questioning and bypass normal human curiosity and inquiry. Thought control, it can take many forms. Not every tactic and technique is evident within every group or controlling relationship. However, many are common across most. One thing you may notice about a cult or high control group as an outsider is the language used by high control groups. It may sound strange. However, this is part of the way that thought control is exerted over members. Loaded language and indoctrination, specific vocabulary and cliches are used to stop critical thought and reduce complexities. For example, the cult I was born into used the term truth as an insider identification of the religion. We would use statements like, "We are in the truth, we have God's truth." As more thought control is applied, outsiders may notice that the language used by cult leaders tends to infantilize and age-regress members. This tactic is used to reinforce the need for dependence on the group. In the JW cult, this tactic is used through sayings such as, "Rely on God and His visible organization." This is shorthand for do whatever the cult tells you to do. But thought control can go further and dip into thought-stopping techniques. High control groups teach thought-stopping techniques which shut down an individual's reality testing by stopping negative thoughts and allowing only positive thoughts. A common technique to shut down or forbid critical questions about leadership, doctrine, or organizational policy is by equating questioning of the leadership to lack of faith, lack of commitment, or some other individual personal weakness. Alternative or conflicting beliefs are labelled as evil, unhelpful, illegitimate. A cover-all answer for anything that did not make sense in the JW cult was rely on Jehovah. This was used anytime a question was raised by a member as to why things were done a certain way, why we had to provide personal information, or in circumstances where a member would question the wisdom of organizational decisions. Indoctrination and thought control can also be achieved through repetition of ideas, thoughts and concepts. In the JW cult, singing, praying and meditation played a big role in thought control. At each of the 3 to 4 weekly meetings, singing at least 3 songs from the cult songbook was a staple. These songs were written by the cult leadership and conveyed the main teachings of the cult. The focus was on humility, loyalty and complete total obedience. The same 200 or so songs would be sung over, year in, year out. The concepts linked to music would just stick in my head. Even to this day, over 12 years later, I still remember the lyrics to most of those songs. Gaslighting is another tactic commonly used in thought control. The end goal of gaslighting is to make the victim question their own reality, perceptions, and even self-worth. The result? Well, the victim questions their own emotions, the legitimacy of their thoughts and feelings, effectively asking, is it right to feel this way? The result for a victim of gaslighting is building reliance on the victimizer, whether it be a person or organisation who is gaslighting them. The effects can be so severe, so entrenched, that the victim engages in what we refer to as self-gaslighting, checking themselves unprompted, doubting their own responses, unable to discern their own thoughts and feelings separate from those of the controller, eventually becoming dependent on the victimizer for how they should feel, think, or act. This kind of behaviour control may not be always obvious to the victim, and it certainly wasn't in my case as a born-in cult member. I was so indoctrinated that I believed my own thoughts and feelings were just not legitimate, that I was not worthy of respect, and that I was a failure as a human being. How did this happen? Well, the tactics described above played a big part. This, combined with group study and constant repetition of cult concepts, being the key ways that this gaslighting was reinforced. Even in printed material, it was common to have predetermined answers about one's feelings, emotions, how members should feel. The phrases, "this makes us feel," was used as a common prompt. This makes us feel happy, sad, glad, grateful, devoted, reliant. And it just went on. Thought control is a powerful way that organisations and individuals gain and maintain authoritarian control. Next time, I'll be speaking about the fourth element of the BITE model, emotional control. I'm Christopher Karvountzis. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video, and since this is YouTube, please take the time to like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to be notified as new videos are released. In the meantime, please head over to my website where you can book me as a speaker for your next event or function. I look forward to speaking with you soon.